Good evening. Welcome to Music Minute here at Epiphany Lutheran Church in Richmond, Virginia. I'm Kevin Barger, the Director of Music Ministries, and we welcome you on this 17th day of October. It's already the middle of October. How can that be? We're going to go through the hymns for tomorrow in order today. So, By All Your Saints is the first, and it is really a hymn that was designed for multi-purpose. And you'll see, if you're familiar with this hymn, it's 421 in your hymnal. It has a general introduction that is used, and then the middle stanza is actually one that varies week by week. So you do it by the saint that you are studying or that is part of the word that week. And then the conclusion, or the third stanza, is the doxology. The latest revision of this in the Evangelical Lutheran Worship Book has removed the militaristic language that we used to have, and it removes those references to warfare, so it makes it a little more peaceful. The tune is named for a province in Finland, and it's known by many other titles, as I'm sure you'll recognize some other hymns that we sing to the same tune. And this organ arrangement actually is called "O Lord, Now Let Your Servant," so it's often used at funerals. And so we hope you enjoyed this. Now You Let Your Servant, or By All Your Saints, and it's on the organ. If you're a member and worship at Epiphany, you probably recognize that as we all are one in mission, or even the Virginia Synod, we used that for many, many occurrences during the past several years. The next hymn, the hymn of the day, will be "Healer of Our Every Ill." And this is a Marty Haugen hymn, and this has some rich history. So this was written, when Marty and his family were living at Holden Village, which is in the mountains of Washington State. And it was written in the winter of 1985-86. So what happened in January 28th of 1986 actually was the Space Shuttle Challenger exploded. And where they were in this Holden Village, it was hard to get word to them. So they learned about this a couple of days later. And the nice thing about this particular hymn you may not have known is that it was actually written for that community at Holden Village during that time to grieve together as they remembered those that were aboard the Space Shuttle Challenger. So some rich history. Like many other Marty Haugen hymns, he often thinks that the hymns are written for a one-time occurrence and then they'll die, fizzle away, never go anywhere. But this particular one, because of talking about ills and God being the healer of all those ills, has been adapted to so many different occurrences in our modern day life. So this is Healer of Our Every Will. It's a meditation on it. This is by my friend Jeremy Bankson, and he's in Ohio. And this is a relatively new version of this, so we hope you enjoy it. Hear the hope of tomorrow in that particular arrangement. So for our last sending hymn today, we're going to switch over to the piano. And this is actually a fairly controversial hymn. How about that? So it's I Love to Tell the Story, number 661 in the hymnal. And this seems to be a love it or hate it hymn. Some people really like it and think it's great, and others might take you to task on that. So Catherine Hankey wrote this when she was actually weak and weary from illness. And so she wrote a poem, which I don't even remember. It was something like 74 or 94 verses long. And this hymn came from the middle around section 39 or something like that. And so it was intended that she really wanted to express her genuine evangelical missionary fervor that was so much a part of her. It's controversial, however, because the part that we sing that becomes the hymn doesn't have all the context around it. So what you have is, I love to tell the story. So it's all about me and what I like to do, and it's not really the story. And so that's where the controversy and the rub kind of comes in there. So, but if you put it back in context, it has a lot of power. So, unfortunately, we don't get to see all that. We just get to see a portion of it here. This is an old gospel tune, and we're going to try to do a little bit of gospel diligence here, and I hope you enjoy I Love to Tell the Story. Enjoyed that, and maybe you got your toes tapping, so you'll be ready to come and sing with vigor tomorrow, whether that's from the parking lot or inside, however you choose to do that, or We won't be singing inside, but maybe inside your own home as you listen to online worship tomorrow. So thanks again for joining us this evening, and we'll see you again next week.